To the virtual professional development on Google Classroom. My name is Ursula. Before we get started on the Google Classroom professional development, I just wanted to give you a quick overview of the website that the Tectosas and I have worked together on. We have our distance learning support website, which you should have the link for. If you don't have the link, we do have a short link for it. It's bit.ly/edtech PSUSD. Once you get to the website, this is our landing page. We've got lots of different materials and support on this website for you. So we do have an overview of distance learning. We've got different tutorials and approved tools for you. You should be here at our professional development, so you've probably seen this page. We're also going to have live support where you can ask us questions and we'll give you the best answers that we can regarding any questions you have about technology or any of the tools that we have provided for you here, or if there's something on any of the tutorials that or the professional developments that you're listening to that you have more questions or need more help with. We'll be there live for you on those scheduled times that are listed per elementary and secondary. I'm going to head back to the home page. We've also got additional resources for you here. And if you need more support, we've got a space for you to contact us based on your grade level, depending on if you need technical support or if you need any support with data. So that would be passwords or synergy help. And then we also have information if you want to send that to the parents about Chromebooks and hotspots. So all of that stuff is listed on our home page. You can also reach it by clicking on any of the tools on the side here. So just a quick look at the tutorials and approved apps. So we've got Google tools for you to go through. We've got tons of resources for you. Video conferencing tools. You will see the Zoom tutorial as a professional development, and we will have additional tools coming for you soon. Just keeping in mind that these are all just recommended. You're not required to use any of these specific ones that we have listed here. They're just ones that if you are interested and you want to learn more, they're here for you. So let's go ahead and get started on Google Classroom. Get started on Google Classroom. So whenever you go to classroom.google.com, or if you select to go through your Clever dashboard, this will be your landing page. You may see a blank page, or you may see one or two classrooms, depending on if you've created anything yet. So as you can see, I have some classes. So if you don't have anything there, don't worry. So this is your landing page. Now to join a class, you're going to click on the plus symbol up in the top here. Now it's either going to say join a class or create a class. If for some reason yours only says join class, please contact us. That means that you're not in as a teacher for some reason, and we want to make sure you have access to create a class. So please go ahead and send us an email if you don't see both of these options there. All right, so for now, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create a class. You're going to name your class whatever it is you'd like to name it. So maybe for this time being, you want to title it Distance Learning. You can give it a section, a subject, and well, there's not going to be a room, but you can give it a room number if you really would like to. So all these other parts down here are not required. The only thing required is for you to title your class. We're going to go ahead and press create. We're going to wait for it to create. All right, I see it popping up in the background there. All right, so now we've got our classroom, and there's a few things to pay attention to whenever you're on that first page of your class. So up in the top, you've got your title of your class. The stream is the one that automatically pops up whenever you open your classroom. So anytime the students pop on, the stream is going to be where they land first. So the stream is basically just an overview of your classroom. From here, the students will be able to see if you post any work but they'll also be able to see if you post any information. So this is almost like if you use Facebook, this is like if you log in, you get to see everybody's information, except here, you get to see all the information for the class. The next tab is the classwork tab. The classwork tab is where it's only the assignments that you give the students. So on the stream, it's assignments and announcements. On the classwork page, they're only going to be seeing the assignments. And this is where you, as the teacher, are creating the assignments for them to do. On the next tab, you're going to see people. Now, right now, we don't have anybody in this class. I just created it. I'm the only teacher. But if I wanted to add other teachers to this class, I could do so by doing the plus button. And let's say I wanted to invite Bhavani. I would start typing in her address, click her, and then I would invite. So we can add co-teachers. You can add students here manually, but I would recommend giving them the code. The code is more than just in one place. We have it here. I'll show you some other places where you'll find the code as well. The last tab is for grades. We're not doing any grading right now, so I'm not going to go over that tab. Find your class code is just on the home page right here. So your class code is the way that students are going to be able to sign into your class. So this is the code you're going to provide to the students. And then just like whenever you came to the Google Classroom homepage, you had that plus symbol there. So this is just your landing page. The students would join the class and enter that code there. So again, you're giving them that code that was on our main page right here. So we saw it on the settings and a few other places as well. So this is the code you're going to give them so they can be a part of your class. Once you've given them that code, you'll see them listed under students here. The next thing that we're going to take a look at is if we would like to change any settings. So we've got our tabs. Right next to there, we've got a little settings cogs wheel. We're going to click on it. And this is where we can get different settings for a class. So if you named your class and you're like, oh my gosh, that is not what I wanted, you can go ahead and change the title of the class here. If you wanted to add any of that stuff that maybe you didn't add before, you can still add it here. Here is another spot to find your class code. Class code, if we click on that little drop down, if I don't like the code that they gave me, if I look at it and I think, just not feeling it, I can reset the code. And once I reset it, they give me a new one. So I can keep doing that as many times as I want, but I don't necessarily need to do that. That's more just to deter random other people from joining the class after you've created it, or if you just don't like it. You can copy the code from here. So now it's on my clipboard. I can paste it somewhere else. And I can also just disable it here, but we're not going to worry about that. So you can copy, you can reset it here. This is kind of an important one. On the stream, this is where you can decide if you want students to be able to comment and post. So you have a few different options. If you click on that drop down, you can make it so students are able to post on the stream. Remember, the stream is where I said you can put all the announcements. So you can allow students to be able to make their own posts and comment, or you can allow them to only comment, or which would mean if you post something, they can comment on it, but they can't create their own posts, or only you are able to post and comment. So that's really up to you, depending on what you feel comfortable with is what you would decide here. So again, this allows students to post and comment. This allows them to only comment on things that you have posted. And this allows students to do nothing. Only you can post or comment. All right, so the next one here. So I told you about the tab, stream, and classwork. The classwork on the stream shows up, but you can decide how you want it to show. So on the stream, It usually shows condensed. That's the automatic setting, but you can have it so it shows all the attachments and details, or you can just have the assignments hidden on there. I think, in my personal opinion, I like the condensed notifications just because it gives them a quick overview of it. You can decide to have deleted items show, but only you're going to be able to see the deleted items. If you want to invite parents, you can invite parents, and if you're interested in seeing what they are able to see if they are invited, you can see the example here and you can check out all of those things. All right, so you can turn that on or off depending on what you're interested in. Again, we're not doing grading, so I'm not going to go over the grading piece here. If you've changed anything, make sure you hit save, and then it'll take you back to your stream here. Now, you can post announcements here. So, afternoon, class, tell me how you're feeling today. Now, if I were to post this, or maybe, so if I were to post this, I would want to make sure that my students are able to at least comment. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to respond to this. You're just going to be having a one-way conversation. So you can post information here. If you change your mind, you can edit it. So if I edit, and let's say instead I want to add something from Google Drive, I can add a link, I can add a file, I can add a video from YouTube. Now keep in mind, if I add it from Google Drive, this is just going to be available for them to look at because this is just an announcement. So if I added, say I wanted to have them interact with a document, they're not going to be able to do it if I'm doing it from the stream. So this is just for students to view things. It's not going to be for them to make anything. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. All right, so now I have an announcement on my stream that students can post on. So this is, again, just for basic information. The classwork page is different than the stream page because this is where you're going to be putting actual assignments, activities, and work that the students can interact with. So there's a few different types of assignments that you can create. So let's just start with the first one. So if you create a regular assignment, first thing you would do would be to title it. So let's just call this, and I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but let's just call this the summer essay. And this is where you can put specific instructions. So if you want them to follow the directions on the document, you can do that. So if I would like to now, I'm going to add. You can add a few different ways. You can add from your drive. You can give them a link. You can attach a file if it's something you have on your computer, or you can add a YouTube video. Now, just a quick reminder that YouTube is currently open for elementary schools. So if you would like to add a YouTube video, you don't have to worry about downloading it at this point. Yay! So let's just take a look. We're going to pull a document from our Google Drive. So your Drive information will pick up here. I'm just going to go ahead and say that this is my summer essay that I have a template for them. Your template will pop up here. You have a few different options. So you can allow students to view the file. That means that they're only going to be able to look at it. They won't be able to interact with it. You can choose students can edit file. If you choose that selection, that means every single student will be on the same file. That means any changes that one student makes will be changes that every other student makes. That can be nice if you want to have a collaborative file that students are working on. But You probably are going to use make a copy for each student more often than not. So you would choose make a copy for each student. On this side here, we see the classroom title. So if you wanted to add it to other classrooms, you could. You can decide which students you want to send it to. I don't have any students in the class right now, so I can't select students. And then we can have point values to it. We're not grading things right now, so that's not really a big deal. You can select a due date if you would like. Very important here is selecting a topic. Now, right now it has no topic, but adding a topic allows you to organize the information in your Google Classroom a lot easier. So if I wanted to create a topic here, I might call this one language arts. I've just created a topic, language arts. I'm not going to add a rubric. I don't need to add an originality report. So I'm going to go ahead and assign that so you guys can see what that looks like. It's processing. All right. So now it's labeled under language arts is the title, or sorry, the topic title, but underneath it, you'll see language or the summer essay. So you'll see the actual assignment. So once you add topics, each of those topics is going to be listed along the side here. That's going to be really helpful for students. So there's a few different things you can do with topics. You can use topics to differentiate between subjects, or in the situation that we're in right now, it might be nice to differentiate it by week or differentiate it by day, depending on how you're posting your content. So topics are very, very helpful for both you and the students to be able to refer back to stuff. So let's go back to the classwork page. We're on it. If I click language arts, it's going to show me if I had more language arts material all the way here. So if I had it by a day, I'm going to see everything there. So back on the classwork page, I can also create a quiz assignment. For a quiz assignment, I actually have to create the form within the assignment here. So I would have the title of my quiz. I can have instructions. I can still add more material, but I have to click into here to actually start working on the quiz. Now, this quiz is going to be housed in your Google Classroom file in your Drive. So it might be a little more difficult for you to find. So you can create it here. There's no issue with that. But if you want to quickly be able to reference back to it in your Drive, I would create it in the Drive first and then add it here as a link, because you can't add it here. So I would add it as a link, but you can do it either way. So add a link or create it in your classroom here. Again, same thing, choosing topics, choosing due dates, all that stuff. I'm going to close this one. Just to show you real quick, if I wanted to edit, I would just click here, edit, and I can change any of these things here if I wanted to make an adjustment. So I can also ask a question. Now, I did ask a question on the stream, but depending on your settings that we had gone over, if I put how are you feeling today here, and I can decide if I want multiple choice or short answer. For this one, I'm going to have short answer. I can have instructions here. I can still have a topic. But the nice thing is if you chose the setting that canceled or did not allow students to comment or post, they will still be able to comment if you post it as a question. So let me say that again. If you chose the setting where students are not allowed to post and only the teacher can post and comment, if you ask a question in the classwork, students will be able to respond. So here, you can also decide if you want students to be able to reply to each other, and if you want students to be able to edit their answer even after they've turned it in, so they can fix things up if you want them to. So I didn't choose a topic for this one, and I should have. So let me go back and edit that. And I'm going to go ahead and just to show you, I'm going to add it to language arts and save. So now under language arts, I see all of these things. All right. So if you post material, you can add the material to the classwork page, but again, it doesn't give you that option to make a file for each student. This is just basic material, excuse me, that you're posting here. And another option, you can reuse your post. So if you have something from a different site, or not different site, from a different classroom, you can repost it here. You would just choose the class and then add it to this new classroom that you have here. So we went over each of the tabs. Hopefully there's not too many questions, but if you do have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We've got, like I said, on our website, we're going to have office hours. And if you have any questions, just join us on the Zoom and we'd be happy to answer them for you. Thank you so much. And don't forget to fill out the form to check for your understanding after you're all done with this. Thank you so much.